Does anyone else think RoastMe is kind of fucked up? Visit RoastMe for some eye bleach when it bothers you. Smiley face. Seems a lot like that to me too. Not to mention the gleeful participation of the roasters. There is relatively little one can do though. And anyway, if it is a form of self-harm, it's a symptom rather than a cause. It's their party and they'll cry if they want to. I get what you mean. I think a lot of the comments there are just really unoriginal. Less than stellar looking guy? Virgin jokes. Average and above girl? Something dicks in mouth. Tattoos, piercings? Daddy issues. I mean, I know they just have one picture to go off of. But at least be a little creative with it, lol. It's definitely self-harm for some of those individuals. I posted in there once. I just really wanted to know if the critiques I had about myself were realistic or imagined. The responses I got were pretty much exactly what I expected, and that made me feel better because I knew that I had a sensible opinion of my own appearance. I don't roast anybody on there. I have a hard time being mean about people's appearance, and honestly some of the responses I see just seem like they're trying to be outright hurtful instead of humorous. It's always been a terrible place. Roasts are fun in real life because the insults come from friends you know mean well. But RoastMe is just strangers on the internet, which misses the point. I've thought a lot of times about posting there, just so I could finally know that when people tell me I'm stupid for thinking I am unattractive, that they really were just being nice. I hear you. I don't get it. It's like a sub for people that throw rocks at cats. People cope with things differently. If that's the way they've decided to cope with whatever is going on, I support it, because they could be doing something a lot more damaging to themselves and/or others. Also, some people just like the attention regardless of if it's good or bad, and value that over something that might hurt someone else's feelings. Edit. Spelling. I've always found it difficult to understand anybody's motivation for that kind of self-inflicted abuse. I assume there are various needs and desires being filled. Some probably have a humiliation, abuse kink. It's more common than you would think. Some are looking for any kind of attention. The good, the bad, and the ugly. Others simply want an unbiased and honest opinion. Due to certain Reddit undercurrents, a lot of the responses are vicious, cruel, skewed for a laugh. But in the subreddit's defense, it is all consensual. Buyer beware. After having a conversation with my partner last night about how I constantly think about the times that my picture was posted to Imgur or Facebook without my consent, usually also taken without my consent, and thousands of strangers took time out of their lives to tell me how ugly I am, I'm thinking about posting in RoastMe just to prove to him the scientific consensus on whether or not I'm attractive. So you're probably on to something here. I can totally see how it can come across as fucked up. But there's a few other aspects to keep in mind. If you think of roasting in reference to the classic Friars Club and Comedy Central roasts, there's always been the traditional idea that the insults came from a place of love and appreciation for the person. The sub isn't really related, but the idea behind the origins of roasting might be worth taking into account. There's also the idea that voluntarily allowing permission for strangers to insult you can be considered a healthy exercise for PPL that may have confidence, self-esteem issues. Some PPL live in fear of being insulted or unwillingly exposed about their insecurities on a daily basis. But allowing PPL to do it kind of almost gets it out of the way for that person. They get to see almost every possible personal insult PPL from around the world could come up with, organized by the most clever ones at the top. So in a way they can feel more adequately prepared if some asshole IRL decides to be nasty, whereas they'd otherwise have been devastated. I can definitely say roasting isn't for everyone. 'Cause I certainly wouldn't ever put myself out there like that. But I can respect the idea behind it. Plus it gives the community a temp license to have the opportunity to make each other laugh at someone's expense, which otherwise wouldn't be cool. The only problem I'd have with it is if bullies started photoshopping RoastMe signs on photos of the unwilling and posting them. That'd be very messed up. One time I was surprised whenever a young 16-year-old girl wanted to be roasted but nobody did, and everyone kept telling her that she needed help instead. It was a bit wholesome and made me proud of that subreddit. Sounds more like the contrary to me. A lot of people posting on this sub are good looking, have a good life, and are often like, I accomplished this today. Roast me for some balance. Like they are using the sub to feel better about themselves. That's high self-esteem to me. On the other hand, RoastMe features actual low self-esteem people that need to be cheered up. Every now and then I go on and compliment people like a little rebel. I get banned for a week or so and that's fine. I can't speak for everyone, but I've posted there just to have a good laugh about myself. No ulterior motive really, and didn't try to lower my self-esteem. It's just funny to laugh at myself. RoastMe is a safe place to be roasted. Some use it to cope with stuff or as collateral for bets. But whatever the motivation, a good roast is super funny. They also have lots of rules to make sure it is all with consent. Nah, I understand. I totally hate it and don't know why people participate on either side. I agree with you 100%. I just don't get it. I was never entirely sure what the appeal in being roasted is. It's definitely someone who didn't have my upbringing. I grew up criticized and belittled, and it tanked my self-esteem. I wouldn't want to give anyone else the opportunity to insult me when I don't deserve it. Just thinking about someone listening to a bunch of insults about them is making me feel dread. It doesn't even have to be me. I will still feel dread. People who ask to be roasted may just be very confident that they can take it and will laugh about it later. Maybe even enjoying the more creative insults. Some will do it for the attention. After all, it's like becoming a 5-minute celebrity.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.